Tonight, U.S. President Donald Trump is assuring Muslim leaders at the UN that he will block any Israeli move to annex the occupied West Bank. You're watching Muslim News Canada on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Elia Batul. The National Council of Canadian Muslims said it is horrified by a Facebook event in Montreal that had been advertised under the name of Quebec mosque shooter Alexander Bissonnette. The page promoted a protest against what it called the Islamization of Quebec. It has drawn several hundred RSVPs before it was removed. Bissonnette murdered 6 worshippers at the Quebec City Mosque in 2017, leaving many more injured and traumatized. The shooting is described as Canada's worst acts of Islamophobic violence. Currently, the 35-year-old Bissonnette is serving a life sentence. NCCM says this online campaign is a grotesque attempt to intimidate Muslims and poses a real threat of violence. The group worked with Meta and law enforcement to take down the page. They say it is an extremely dangerous development and are calling for immediate action from authorities. Quebec has moved to ban gender-neutral pronouns in all official communications. French language minister Jean-François Roberge says the province's language must not be distorted and should remain easy to understand. The new policy bars the use of emerging gender-neutral terms often used by transgender and non-binary people. However, the government says non-binary residents may still use the X-gender marker on certain official documents. This comes as the use of such pronouns have been debated nationally. In Alberta, the government is supporting policies that would restrict pronoun and name changes in schools without parental consent. A Muslim charity has filed a lawsuit accusing a Hamilton church and its landlords of blocking an Islamic school lease in Stony Creek. The Toledo Foundation, a Muslim charity, says its agreements was canceled after a pastor at Great Life Church made Islamophobic remarks during a sermon. In a video, the local pastor could also be heard saying the owners are being pressured right now by an Islamic group that wants to come into this building with us. He then goes on to say, "We are standing against it because we don't want that type of religion joining us in the building. Islam is a false religion." The charity says the cancellation has left dozens of children without a place. The lawsuit is filed in the Ontario Superior Court. It says the church and the landlord is acting in bad faith and violating human rights. The landlord denies the allegations, calling them false and defamatory, and says it will countersue. The church has not publicly responded to the allegations. A report by Politico says U.S. President Donald Trump is assuring Muslim and Arab leaders he will not allow Israel to annex the occupied West Bank. The pledge came during a high-level meeting on Gaza at the sidelines of the United Nations. It was attended by leaders from Turkey, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Egypt, Indonesia, the UAE, and Jordan. Sources say Trump was firm on the issue with his team, presenting a white paper on ending Israel's nearly 2-year genocidal war in Gaza. However, officials admit a ceasefire remains far off, despite talks on governance and post-war security. The White House has not commented publicly on the report. Thank you for watching Muslim News Canada. We are a community channel dedicated to bringing you stories you can trust. Please like, share, and subscribe to our content. You can also comment to let us know what you think of our coverage. You can donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV.